Alright, here we go. Deck number 3. So, I still haven't thought of an intro, but I had an idea. What if I just sang random kooky songs at the beginning of each episode?
Destination for all aspects of Elder Dragon Highlander.
Dancing through the fire, and you're gonna hear oh.
Well, fuck me! Nope, still no intro. Here we go. Alright, another week down, and we are back to the deck techs. We are on my second deck. We've done 3. Only one has been mine, or this will be the third. Shut up. God, don't even know my own material, and I stutter. Has anyone noticed that? I fucking stutter. God, it's so dumb. We've done 2 so far. This will be the third. There we go. And this week's deck is one of my personal babies. You know what? They're all my babies. I'm just gonna say it. I have put so much into all of these decks. I just love every single one of them. But this one holds a special piece in my heart because it is the first deck that I ever won a game with at a GP, and it is Mr. Gishath, Sun's Avatar. Is he Mr. or Mrs.? Did you guys know Emrakul is a female? Technically, I guess. Never knew that. Fucking weird, but yeah. Big old floating space thing is a chick. No idea. But, alright. 5 generic and 3, 1 red, 1 green, and 1 white. What is that? Sultai, I think? I don't remember. Anyway. Legendary creature dinosaur avatar. Again, this is the reason why you came to this channel, so I don't need to explain it. Basically, trample, vigilance, haste, and whenever he hits, you get to search for dinos. And we're stoked about that because he is just the best dino tribal. So good. So yeah, this build is Dino Tribal, sub-theme of Enrage and double damage and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's just a bunch of big old fat fatties, big old dinosaurs that do dinosaur things. I actually heard on another show they were having a discussion about Gishath being one of the most popular commanders from, what was that, Ixalan? And they were like, oh, I don't know why people pick Gishath over Zakama for a dino deck. It's because he's fucking better. Zakama himself is really cool. He's got the removal, he's got the life gain, he's got the damage and all that stuff, and he untaps lands when he comes in. But for Dino Tribal, he really doesn't do much for Dino Tribal, you know? And Gishath is made for Dino Tribal. So if you just want a Jurassic Park dinosaur deck, Gishath is the way to go. And so I'm sure some of you have noticed that I run some proxies in these decks, and that's because I have 1 copy of each of these expensive cards. Yeah, one day gotta convince Kimberly to let me get multiple copies. One day, but we'll see. But yeah, got all of them. Okay, I don't want to hear any of your bitching. Yeah, those are proxies. See, Guy's Cradle right there. They're all in there. Okay. And then my Mana Crypt and my stuff like that that's under $200 are in other decks. Alright, so in this deck we are only running the on-color fetches just because getting the right amount of colors isn't that hard, but obviously if you want to make it a little bit more competitive, you'll run the off-color fetches as well. So your Wooded Foothill, your Arid Mesa, and your Windswept Heath. And then moving on to the actual color fixing, you have Taiga, Savannah, Plateau, Razor Verge Thicket, Ancient Zuggurat, Fortified Village, Rugged Prairie, Horizon Canopy, Inspiring Vantage, Cinderglade, Sunderlit Grove, Rootbound Crag, Copperline Gorge, Temple Garden, City of Ass, Game Trail, and Stomping Grounds. Then moving into our utility land packages. So, Okina, Temple of the Grandfathers. It's really good because it doesn't enter tapped, enters, gives you a green, and also target legendary. You can tap a green into it. Target legendary creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So just if you got land and you don't really want to do anything other than hit someone with Gishath, boom, get an extra trigger that could get you as a comma or something. Shinka, the Blood-Soaked Keep. Same thing. Enters untapped, gives you a red, and you can tap a red into it, and target legendary creature gains first strike until end of turn, which is super nice because you can do that at instant speed. Cavern of Souls, because Cavern of Souls, we don't want Gishath to get countered because he is a huge target. So at least he can hit the field and maybe we can get a swing in. Strip Mine. I run Strip Mine and Wasteland in every single one of my decks. I said it in my other video with Mazarek. I'm not going to lose to your stupid land. I'm not going to lose to your Glacial Chasm. You can kiss my ass. I have Strip Mine and Wasteland in all of my decks. This one actually just Strip Mine though. Gaia's Cradle, because lots of creatures, and because fucking Gaia's Cradle. And Ancient Tomb, try to get a jump on that colorless mana. 3 plains. 2 mountains. 1 forest. Oh, you played a Blood Moon, I see. I'm just gonna go move on to the next game. You know, someone gave me a good thought, and that is to offer budget options. So obviously, there's going to be a million cheap land cards. Okay, anything that enters tapped is going to be 10 cents. But I am going to show you guys what a deck can potentially be built as. So I'm not going to showcase budget options. If you want to be on a budget, cool. That's a very adult thing to do. I have no life. This is really the only thing I spend my money on. So I have dual lands. Alright, pulling no punches with getting that extra mana in this deck because we need to get Gishath out. I have got him out, I kid you not, turn 2. Okay? So you need all this stuff. And people freak out when you cast Gishath on turn 2. It's really funny. Okay, so we got Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mana Vault. Pillar of Origins is one that can be taken out. I'm honestly probably going to change this one out with one of the Talismans, maybe, because they're also 2 costs. This one's good, but it only adds mana to the for the specific creature type, and so it's kind of meh, honestly. I just haven't really taken the time to get this one changed out. Chromatic Lantern, because like I said, we need those 3 colors. And Thrawn Dynamo to get stuff moving. Alright, regular artifacts, Lightning Greaves, because Lightning Greaves, equip, give it Shroud. Equip for 0, yeah. Urza's Incubator, so we don't run, there's 2 mana dorks in this entire deck, okay? All of the rest are what I like to call dino coupons, okay? So, this right here is a coupon for your dinosaurs, obviously, so cost 3 to cast, artifacts. When Urza's Incubator enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. We're going to choose fairies. Ha, ha, ha. We're going to choose dinos. And creatures of the chosen type cost 2 less to cast. Okay? Coupon. Another coupon right here, and also a little bit of filtering, which is nice. Herald's Horn costs 3. Another artifact. As Herald's Horn enters the battlefield, again, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type are 1 less to cast. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you can look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature of the chosen type, you can put it into your hand. If not, you put it at the bottom of your library. So you can, that is a May ability, so it's really nice. You can draw the card if it's utility, or you can pitch it if it's meh. Enchantments! Alright, so burgeoning, because burgeoning, and so burgeoning is one of the ways that you get to casting Gishath on turn 2. Okay, so it's an enchantment, costs only 1. Whenever another player plays a land, you get to play a land. Freaking dope. Aura Shards. Okay, imagine this: you get a Gishath trigger and you hit 5 dinosaurs in the 7 at his base power that you get to search for. Okay, that means you get to destroy 5 artifacts or enchantments. Super good in this deck. All right, Descendant's Path. Another really good card. A little bit complicated than more complicated than most. So this one, at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. If it shares a creature type with a creature on the battlefield, you just put it into play. I actually made it sound a lot more simple than it's written, but that's basically how it works. So Colossal Majesty. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. So we need to draw in this deck. Okay? It doesn't run blue. You got to find other ways to draw. So we run 3 draw enchantments. We got Elemental Bond, 3 cost, another 3 cost. Whenever a creature with power 3 or greater enters the battlefield, which isn't that hard to do in this deck, on your side, you get to draw a card. Guardian Project, basically the same thing as Elemental Bond, only it's any non-token creature that doesn't share the name of a creature in your graveyard or that's already on the battlefield. So, in Commander, pretty good. Pyrrhemia, okay, moving into some utility to get that enrage stuff going off on. So we got a lot of dinosaurs that have a lot of enrage abilities, and the single damage is just super good. All right, so Pyrrhemia costs 4. At the end of your turn, if there are no creatures in play, you have to sacrifice Pyrrhemia, which usually isn't an issue. Okay, but pay 1 red. Pyrrhemia deals 1 damage to every creature and each player, which is super cool. So you can enrage the shit out of some stuff, and especially if you have Polyraptor out, which we'll talk about later, but most of you probably know what Polyraptor does. Pyrrhemia with Polyraptor gets ridiculous, and it takes a lot of math, and it's dumb. All right, Mirari's Wake. Add a counter to each of your creatures, double your mana. Simple enough. Dictate of the Twin Gods. This is one of the only damage doublers that I have in this deck. Just because of that flash ability. That flash ability is so good. So, cost 5, cost 1 more than Furnace of Wrath, but Furnace of Wrath is, like I said, in my opinion, for 1 mana, one extra mana, this one's way better. Okay, if a source would deal damage this turn, or if a source would deal damage, it just deals double that damage. It's fucking gross. It's awesome. So Sunbird's Invocation, really easy to get out just because we get so much mana in this deck. So whenever you cast a spell from your hand, has to be from your hand, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the CMC of that spell, and you get to cast a spell with X or less in its CMC for free, basically. I think I tried to simplify that, but I may have made it more complicated, or I may have said it wrong, but that's basically what it does. Sunbird's Invocation. Look it up. So starting with some fight cards. So Pounce, it's a 2-mana fight card. So target creature you control fights another creature. Super cool. I always call this eating, because you cast this on a 9/9 and kill like something that's small on someone else's board. You know, you're just going to have Gishath eat something, and it's dope. Savage Stomp, same thing. This one costs 3, but it costs 2 less if you use it on a dino. Plus it gives you that creature a +1/+1 counter. Moving into our tutors. So this is more kind of filtering the top of the deck. Commune with dinos, look at the top 5. You can take a dinosaur or a land, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom. Worldly Tutor, instant. Search up a creature, put it on top. Signal the Clans. Signal the Clans is, oh man, did you guys see that? Gross. Signal the Clans. Gruul. I usually use this to get my coupons, so my humans that make dinos cheaper. Really good because there's really no lose in that situation because they all do the same thing, only some of them do it a little bit better. Sylvan Tutor, really good. It's at like $60 right now. You know, it's super good, and I understand it's never been reprinted, but yeah, super stoked to have this. There was a guy at GP last year that actually gave me this because it was, like I said, it was my first win with a deck, and he asked me, he's like, do you have a Sylvan Tutor in there? I was like, I sure don't. And he's like, here, I own a shop. Here's a Sylvan Tutor. It was super cool. So if that guy is watching this video right now, you're awesome. Okay, moving into some protection. So Heroic Intervention, give everything indestructible and hexproof. Boros Charm, here's some utility. All the charms are super good. All right, so choose one. Boros Charm deals 4 damage to target player. Permanents you control gain indestructible. And target creature you control gains double strike. Those last two are the main ones that we run this in here because people are going to try to remove Gishath. People are going to try to board wipe because most of the time you have 10 plus dinos on the field. So people are going to try to board wipe. People are going to try to get rid of Gishath. And it's a good way to, maybe you already hit someone with Gishath once, and they think they can survive a hit, and then you just cast Boros Charm and friggin' kill them. Cultivate, because ramp. Crushing Canopy, a little bit of removal here, gets rid of an enchantment or a creature with flying. It's really nice. More removal. Path to Exile, because of Path to Exile. Crowsand Grip. Crowsand Grip is really nice, just because of that split second. Really hard for people to respond to. And destroy target artifact or enchantment. Alright, we got our Planeswalkers. We got all 3 Huatlis. So we got Huatli, Warrior Poet. She costs 5. Her +2, you gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. She's got a 0 to get you a 3/3 dino with trample, super cool. And then a -X that lets you deal X damage among any targets. So, Huatli, Radiant Champion. And just in case anyone doesn't know, you can have, with the new, I mean, it's not even a new legend rule. With the current legend rule, you can have as many Planeswalkers of the same Planeswalker out at once, as long as it's not the same exact. You can't have 2 Jace the Mind Sculptors, but you can have a Jace Bellerin and a Jace the Mind Sculptor out at the same time. Super cool, because all of these are gross when you have all 3 of them out at once. Okay, so Huatli Radiant Champion, she only costs 4. She's the cheapest one out of all of them. She, her +1, put a loyalty counter on her equal to the number of creatures you control. Her -1 is target creature gets +X until end of turn for the number of creatures you control. And her -8 is you get an emblem with whenever a creature enters, you draw a card. There's that card draw. Huatli, Dino Knight. Cost 6. She is the most common one that we see while playing, just because we do run the Huatli Tutor in here as well. It's that guy right there. Her +2, you get to put 2 +1/+1 counters on any number of target dinosaurs you control. That means you can throw them both on one or one on 2 different ones. Her -3, target dinosaur eats target creature. And her -7 is dinosaurs you control get +4/+4 until end of turn. So they're all nothing to write home about by any means, but they are just awesome. All right, we're gonna move into creatures. We're gonna try to burn through this as quick as possible. Okay. All right, I got this. This one's gonna be shorter. I got a feeling it's gonna be shorter. All right. So, Priest of the Awakening Sun. It's 1 cost. It's insane that it's a 1 cost and it's so cheap. All of these creatures, all of these cards that are dino specific are so good in this deck, and they're so cheap because they are only good in Dinosaur Tribal. Like, Priest of the Awakening Sun is probably a 10-cent rare just because it's only useful with dinosaurs. So check this out. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can reveal a dinosaur card from your hand, and if you do, you gain 2 life. And then pay 5, sacrifice Priest of the Awakening Sun, and search your library for any dinosaur card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Just, gah, it's a tutor. And it's life gain. It's so much utility, but it's only good in this deck. Alright, moving right here, we got a coupon. Okay. Kinjali's Collar. Dinosaur spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So, next we have Ulvenwald Tracker. This is the only one that's kind of off theme just because super useful. So 1 green for a human. Pay 1 generic and a green. Tap it. Target creature you control fights another target creature. So that doesn't have to be an opponent's creature. That can be one of your creatures too if you want to get an enraged shooter off. It's gross. Drover the Mighty. Got a mana dork, okay? He's in here because he is on theme with the dinosaurs. And he gets +2/+2 as long as you control a dino. Odapek Huntsmaster. Cost 2. This one is another coupon. Dinosaurs you control cost 1 less to cast. Tap him. Target dinosaur you control gains haste until end of turn. Ranging Raptors. Cost 3. Has Enrage. Whenever Ranging Raptors is dealt damage, you can search your library for a land. Basic land. Has to be a basic land. Enters tapped. Thrashing Brontodon. Also cost 3. Pay 1, sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Got some more removal on a creature. Kinjali's Sunwing. Everyone hates this one. Flying. Creatures your opponents control enter tapped. Just, so good. Oh, you want some blockers? You want to cast some blockers? Well, they enter tapped, and you're going to take Gishath to the face. Territorial Hammerskull, cost 3. This one is also really funny when you have him out with Gishath because whenever he attacks, you can tap target creature and opponent controls. So, hey you, dude, that's got this Death Touch blocker. Oh, you think you're safe? Yeah, I'm going to attack you with both of these. I'm going to attack you with Territorial Hammerskull and Gishath. And we're going to tap down that Death Touch blocker, and you're going to eat some Gishath damage. Atsukin Seer, another mana dork. This one is so much more than that, though, because he is Graveyard Recursion for dinos. Sacrifice Atsukin Seer, return target dinosaur from your graveyard to your hand. Runic Armasaur, here's some more card draw. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a land or a creature, draw a card. That one's kind of more specific, and you get draw, but it's nothing to write home about. Wayward Swordtooth. You can play an additional land each turn, but he can't attack until you have the city's blessing, or no, Ascend. He can attack once you control 10 or more permanents, so that's Ascend. Needletooth Raptor. Enrage. Whenever Needletooth Raptor is dealt damage, he deals 5 damage to any target creature an opponent controls. Knight of the Stampede. This is probably the best one. It's also the most expensive, but dinosaur spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Imperial Aerosaur. Flying, and whenever Imperial Aerosaur Imperial Entersaur. Whenever Imperial Aerosaur enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains flying and +1/+1 until end of turn. Hey, let me swing at you with a flying Gishath. Ripjaw Raptor. Whenever Ripjaw Raptor is dealt damage, draw a card. Love the Enrage in this deck. It's just, Enrage is such a cool sub-theme, and most people don't really expect it, and it's just super funny. Forerunner of the Empire. So, when Forerunner of the Empire enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a dinosaur card, reveal it, and put that card on top of your library. after you shuffle. And then whenever a dinosaur enters the battlefield, you may have Forerunner of the Empire deal 1 damage to each creature. So it enters, it's a dinosaur tutor. You have other dinosaurs enter, and it's an enrage trigger. It's just so good. Majestic Heliopteris. Whenever Majestic Heliopteris attacks, it gives another dinosaur flying again. Flying Gishath coming at your face. Raging Swordtooth. This one is really fun when you get it off of a Gishath trigger, because as it enters, you can choose the order in which the ETBs happen. So you can have his ETB happen last, and then you have all these enraged triggers, all these enraged dinosaurs that already entered that you can trigger off of. Super. Ugh. Temple Altasaur. Reduce damage to all your dinos down to 1. Really don't need to say much more than that, especially when we have enrage and we can just pump. With this one, you can just pump as much mana as you want into Pyrohemia and just get all the enraged triggers, all of them. Trapjaw Tyrant. Enrage. Whenever Trapjaw Tyrant is dealt damage, you may exile target creature and opponent controls. And whenever Trapjaw Tyrant leaves the battlefield, return that creature. So it's removal for commanders, it's removal for problem children, it's just the bee's knees. Sunblessed Mount. Again, here's that Huatli tutor. That's really the only reason why Huatli, or the Sunblessed Mount, is in here. And it's to get us a Huatli, because everyone wants a Huatli. Itali. Primal Storm. Ugh. Probably my favorite out of all the other Elder Dinos that I have in here. I just... Ugh. So, when Itali enters, nothing happens. But, when he attacks, everyone exiles the top card of their library, and you can cast any non-land cards without paying their mana cost. Fucking disgusting. Burning Sun's Avatar. Burning Sun's Avatar, I'm not going to lie. Burning Sun's Avatar is kind of meh. And whenever they print a better dinosaur, this is probably going to be one of the first ones to get cut. But, so whenever he enters, he deals 3 damage to any target creature and any target opponent. And so it's cool. But it's, like I said, there's better things that could be had. Regal Behemoth. When he enters, you become the monarch. He has trample. And as long as you are the monarch, all of your lands tap for double. Just, yeah, do I really have to say much more? I really don't. Got my Burger King crown on whenever I'm the monarch. It's awesome. Alright. Bellowing Aegisaur. He has enrage. Whenever whenever he's dealt damage, put a +1/+1 on all of your creatures. Thundering Spineback, Dinosaur Lord. Not just a Dinosaur Lord, he also has a little bit of utility, not the best utility. It's nah. You can pay 6 and you can create a 3/3 Dino with trample. Verdant Sun's Avatar. This is one of the... Oh god, this one's always really fun to get off of a Gishath trigger. So, whenever Verdant Sun's Avatar or any other creature enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. So, you just had the equivalent of 20 toughness hit the battlefield. Okay, you gain 20 life. Goring Ceratops, he has double strike, and he gives all your other creatures double strike until end of turn when he attacks. Polyraptor, because Polyraptor and math. He has enrage whenever Polyraptor is dealt damage, create an exact copy of Polyraptor, meaning it has this ability, meaning with Pyrohemia out on the battlefield and you pumping mana into it means you got to do a lot of math onto how many Polyraptors you actually have, and I'm not gonna lie, I get lost after about four triggers. I think someone did a mathematical equation to see what it would take to make infinite Polyraptors, and it's a lot less than you would think. Awakening Sun's avatar removal. We have dino specific removal. Oh, it's so great. So whenever Awakening Sun's avatar enters the battlefield, if you cast him from your hand, that's the only downside, but most of these dino tutors, you're searching for this guy. So whenever he enters the battlefield, if you cast him from your hand, destroy all non-dinosaur creatures. And that's why he's a promo. Zatalpa, Primal Dawn, because who doesn't want a flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible, elder dinosaur? I know I want one. And Zakama, like I said, he belongs in the 99. He doesn't belong as the commander. He has so much utility, and he's so good, but he's just not a commander. He's just not a dinosaur tribal commander. He's just not. So, he costs 9, he has Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Whenever he enters, if you cast him from your hand, untap 9 lands. And then he has 2 in a red, Zakama deals 3 damage to any target. 2 in a green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And 2 in a white, you gain 3 life. And Galta. So, Galta is Galta. He costs 12 unless you have literally anything on the battlefield, and he only costs 2 green. It's basically what that text means. Alright guys, so I'd say I got through that pretty quick. You know, I understand that hour-long, 45-minute long videos are hard to get through, but as I always say, I hope you're just enjoying the show, and just maybe you're like me, possibly on the stairs at the gym, just or on the elliptical, just wanting to watch a deck tech. And this is for you, friend. Sweat on. Sweat on. Again, one of the best things about this show is we think all our decks are great. I think this is the best Dinosaur Commander deck ever made, but still has its weaknesses. See? I'm humble. I'm humble. I don't make invincible decks. Yeah, I do. Your biggest weakness with this deck is honestly just going to be anything that shuts down your mana. There are some fat fatties in this deck, and you're not going to use them. If someone plays a Blood Moon, if someone plays a Back to Basics, if someone destroys all of your mana rocks, you're not going to have a legit time, okay? So that is really, honestly, probably the only really big weakness of this deck. There's a shit ton of land in this deck. And so I've honestly cast Gishath 4, 5, 6 times. Not kidding. And you just get lands. And it's nice because you don't want to get the dinosaurs because you want to get them off of those Gishath triggers. But, yeah, never any trouble getting lands in this deck. But if someone turns off all the fancy lands, it's heartbreaking. It hurts. It hurts in my soul. And the win con with this deck, do I really got to explain it? It's a fatty deck. You get Gishath out, you get the triggers, you get more dinosaurs, and you turn shit sideways. Literally the most fun part about Magic. Turning the shit, taking the cards from this way and making them go that way and making other people cry. It's the funnest, most fun thing about Magic. Yeah, it's the funnest. And yeah, that's really the only win con. We just turn the shit sideways, man. It's simple. It's a fucking knuckle dragger. I swing dino. Ugh. And to reiterate, as always, this is just one way to build this deck. It's my favorite way. You could probably run a little heavier on the double damage. I know a lot of people like to play Xenagos in this deck. You can run heavier on the Enrage specific stuff, but I really feel like the way that I built this has a really nice, even, just all the stuff. You get a taste of everything. Because it's nice to taste multiple things, because things taste good. So I'm gonna guess I got this one to 35 minutes. We'll see. But we got another one in the books. This will be another deck that is showcased in the Royal Rumble, the first ever gameplay video of the show. Really excited to do it. I'm really excited to shoot it. Still have no idea how I'm going to do it, but we're going to try. And this one will honestly probably be piloted by my roommate Rob, just because he really enjoys this one, because we've done 2 of my decks. I can't do 2 decks at once. It's going to be the first time we ever do it. It's going to be a shit show. Who am I lying to? I'm going to do my best. But I think that's everything. I think I burned through it pretty quickly. So, alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, always hit the like button and subscribe. I'm up to 22 subscribers. And in my last video, I did a booster pack giveaway, and so I'll be doing that sporadically too, so stay tuned for that. I don't have any questions or anything like that, but I'm probably going to put them in the fitness videos just to give you guys a reason to watch the fitness ones, because I got a feeling that those ones are going to be hard to get you guys interested in, but a lot of really good content in those videos, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, 22 subscribers, man. That's more, like, who knew I'd be this popular, Mom? I sure did. I'm like the cool girl at school that everyone is super excited to see, and they're like, hey Becky, you're so cool, and then as soon as I walk away, they're like, fuck that bitch. As always, I'm Dakota. This is Pumped Up Gaming. Both of my elbows just popped. Did you hear that? Holy shit. I'm 24. Got the fucking joints of a 90-year-old. This is Pumped Up Gaming, and I will see you guys in the next one.